I'm a 35-year-old male named Tom. I had a really dramatic past, but I'm really happy now. I want everyone to know about that period because of this. Nick, my younger brother, is exceptionally intelligent. In contrast to me, he was exceptionally intelligent and always achieved flawless grades in primary school without any study time. Our parents had high hopes that he would be accepted into one of the state's elite private middle schools. However, despite my best efforts, I did not study effectively and had below average grades. My grades didn't get any better despite my best efforts, and I consistently received a math score of about 50. Oh, why is your brother so stupid when Nick is so intelligent? By the time he reaches middle school, he will have lost all hope if his elementary arithmetic results are this low. It's simply pitiful. I'm doing my best, though. How can you say you did well with scores like this? I received a score of 70 in social studies. Quit being foolish. You would undoubtedly receive a perfect grade if you were making an effort. Perhaps you ought to learn from Nick. That is unfair. Ha! You're being reprimanded. You're so stupid, dude. I am capable of resolving these issues. Is 6th grade your actual grade? You might want to start anew in 1st grade. Every time my mother saw my test results, she became irate. She would be upset if I didn't show her my test results, therefore I didn't want to. I had no other option, and I was furious with my brother for making fun of me. Our parents lavished him with attention, and he behaved arrogantly. He simply considered making fun of me and showed me absolutely no respect. He didn't seem cute to me, and I wanted he would go away. But I felt as though I was the one who was unnecessary in this home. As a child, I was greatly affected by my parents' comments that it would be better if I wasn't around. After that, I attended middle school. Even though my courses were challenging, I was rather happy because I had made some wonderful friends. In particular, I began spending a lot of time with Jake, a classmate. I was a little jealous of his mom's affection for him, even though they were a single-parent family and led a simple life. When I visited Jake's mom, she always offered me snacks, even if she was exhausted. They weren't costly, but I was quite appreciative. She treated everyone equally and had a constant smile. She seemed so different from my parents, in my opinion. My mom handled the office job while my dad served as president of the company my parents owned. Despite being the son of a president, I never experienced love. Although I recalled having a reasonably comfortable upbringing, I believed they spent more money for my brother. When it came to field trip food, for example, there was a slight variation. My mother gave me a dollar bill when the school led us to purchase snacks up to $3, but my brother received a $10 bill. My brother seemed unconcerned, even though I believed I was not permitted to purchase so many food. Enjoying his role as king, he distributed snacks to every student in the class. I learned early on that material wealth isn't the only factor in pleasure because I was raised with such partiality. My mother then revealed something startling to me over the summer break of my 3rd year of middle school. I intended to enroll in a summer course at a tutoring facility my friend frequented in order to strengthen my weak areas in science and arithmetic. I need a favor, Mom. The station has a tutoring center with a summer course. Attending the course does not require you to be a regular student, they claimed. You receive a discount if you enroll in 5 subjects. What? A course for the summer? Yes, I struggle with science and math. My friend informed me that taking all 5 topics is more cost-effective than just those 2. We're short on funds for it. We could spend the money on Nick instead of you, so it's a waste. Please release me. I'll put a lot of effort into studying. You don't need to study since you're going to quit school and get a job. Well done. You are no longer bound by your weak subjects. Wait, what do you mean? It indicates that you will leave school to work for our organization. Do you not understand? It's a waste of time and money to send you to high school. Instead, put in a lot of effort at work. No. I also want to attend high school. Dude, stop being so self-centered. You're upsetting Mom. Middle school is plenty for you because you're not that intelligent anyhow. You ought to work for us since you're a complete failure. Will you harm me in any way, Nick? Terrifying. Will you try anything on your younger brother? Enough. I hurried back to my room and banged the door to the living room because I was so angry. My brother embarrassed me, and Mom's words saddened me. I was unable to control my tears and even make decisions about my own future. Dad was stern and would scold me for even the smallest infractions. In retrospect, I believe my parents were poisonous and our family was dysfunctional. However, as a child, all I could do was cry, growing suspicious of my parents and hateful of my brother. In my 3rd year of middle school, winter arrived. I knew it was too late for me, so I just stared blankly at the skies as everyone else studied diligently for their high school admission examinations. Hey, I heard you're going to drop out and work? Yeah, my parents want me to join their company. Well, your dad is the president. Yeah, but they told me I wasn't worth sending to high school, that it would be a waste of money. That's difficult. I considered working immediately to support my mother. She overexerted herself and became ill. What, is your mom okay? The doctor advised her not to put herself under undue stress. She has a bad heart. Tom, it is awful. Don't appear so depressed. Let's demonstrate our abilities to them. Let's disprove those who think we're unworthy of dropping out. Let's put in a lot of effort and have faith that we will be rewarded eventually. You're correct. I apologize. I shouldn't pretend that I'm the only one who has issues. Everybody has challenges of their own. I know it's tough for you too, but don't give up no matter what. Yeah, I'll keep fighting. You too, Jake. Jake supported me despite his difficult circumstances, and I was appreciative. I was a little embarrassed since I had always felt that I was the only one going through hardship. I made the decision to work harder and maintain my optimism because I was determined not to let Jake outdo me. Perhaps good things will happen to me too someday. I chose to overlook the fact that my parents continued to treat me coldly and lavish my brother with attention. My brother finally quit bothering me when I stopped responding to his grating remarks. If I didn't answer, he probably thought it was no fun. As a recent middle school graduate, I began working at my parents' business in April. My father was unforgiving. He treated me like a rag and assigned me all of the difficult chores. He threw all of the work that had previously been done by other staff onto me. He simply yelled at me when I questioned him. You're still not getting it. You fool, how many times must I teach you? But no justifications. You're useless because of this. Simply complete the task and resume your work. Yes, how could I have a boy like you? Nick is a masterpiece, smart and attractive. You are merely a flawed product. Such as this. Dad showed me a defective goods with his hand. He then tossed it in the garbage. He seemed to be discarding me. Years went by. It was my 30th birthday. Despite attending a reputable institution and graduating from a private middle and high school, Nick chose to stay at home instead of looking for work. He was just a jobless college graduate to me. I don't have to work because I'm learning how to profit from stocks. However, there's no assurance that it will work, is there? Nope, it will be easy with my intellect. Bro, just be quiet. Oh, I see. Even after graduating from college, my brother continued to spend his time at home doing nothing productive. However, my parents didn't chastise him. Instead, they stated, in a casual tone, he'll make it big someday. It was pointless to say anything to them, but I didn't think that would ever happen. I therefore chose not to alert my parents. My parents and I were working at the company one morning. As I took on the challenging activities at 30, I felt like my age was catching up with me. I turned to see where the crash was coming from when I heard it all of a sudden. I noticed my dad had passed out. Dad, help, please. Call an ambulance instead. My dad died soon after we got to the hospital, but we called an ambulance right away. A heart attack occurred. Dad had been warned he had a bad heart and was overweight, yet he persisted in his bad habits. He most likely died from a huge heart attack as a result. When Mom let out a loud cry, my brother, who had hurried over, became pale. Oddly enough, though, I felt happy that the one thing that held me back was gone rather than depressed. Perhaps I'm ungrateful, but only someone who grew up with toxic parents would comprehend. I wasn't even depressed throughout the funeral. My mother chastised me for it, calling me the worst son. A week later, Mom gave my brother and I a call. "I need to talk to you, so please sit down." All right. Now that your father is gone, we must consider the business. You will take over the business, Nick. Your worthless brother has been sacked as of right now. How come? You understand? Nick will now be in charge of the business. Well, but I'd like to continue researching stocks. Only you have the right to be president, I beg you. Mom, if you ask like that, I can't say no. However, is it possible for me to study stocks in my spare time? Obviously. Hold on a second. After all of my hard work for this company, you're sacking me and appointing Nick as the new president. It's not fair. What were your thoughts? You might be the president. Your education is limited to middle school. You can't possibly be the president. Keep me from laughing. An education from middle school. However, it was you and Dad that forced me to drop out of high school. You can't make fun of me for that. You have no right to speak to me in that manner. You were born to me. How can you say things like that to me? But enough. You're going out of this house. You are not needed by us. Everything she said left me stunned. This is how I was treated after putting in as much labor as a worker ant for the corporation. When she claimed to have given birth to me, I couldn't handle it. I didn't want to think like a child, even at my age, but I believed that parents shouldn't say things like, "I gave birth to you," or "I raised you." I didn't appreciate the patronizing, "I did this for you" mentality because having kids is a way to feel good about yourself. I wouldn't want to say such things to my children if I ever had some. I made the decision to leave the house after my mother told me so much. I returned to my room, gathered my belongings, and made the decision to bring only the necessities. I thought I could remain at a business hotel while I looked for an apartment, but I had nowhere specific to go. I left the house and checked into a business hotel in the area. It felt calm in the room without my mother and brother. Nobody was around to annoy me or say hurtful things. I was thinking about my classmate Jake while I relaxed in my room. I wanted to know how he was doing. I called him since I hadn't spoken to him in a while. "Hi, Jake. What's going on over there?" "Well, the factory where I was employed just closed." "How come?" "In actuality, I was fired from the corporation after my father passed away." "Your father passed away?" "Yes, but oddly, I didn't feel depressed." "Does that imply that I am a horrible son?" "You said that your parents were unjust to you and always disapproved of you. Perhaps it makes sense. What did you do after being expelled then?" "My mother fired me and announced that she was handing the business over to my brother. She then evicted me from the house as well, although I suppose it was time for me to go anyhow." "I understand. Hey, how about we get started together? Hey, let's create our own business from the ground up." "But is that really possible?" "Indeed. Come on, let's do it." So I summoned Jake to a coffee shop. There, we discussed a wide range of topics. Jake stated that he would really benefit if our business turned a significant profit. He had to work to support his mother because she was still not feeling well. We made plans because, fortunately, I had a good amount of money saved. We first found a place to live. We got everything in order after speaking with a lawyer Jake knew. We worked fast, and soon our business was up and running. My family's business was directly across the street from mine, and it had a large, eye-catching sign. When I entered and left the building, my brother and mother were taken aback. Is this place being rented by you? That's correct. But isn't this place really expensive for rent? We can afford it because we have raised enough money. How did you attain the funds? From YouTube. Stories I shared on toxic parents received a lot of views. Wait, are you referring to me? Perhaps. This location and this enormous sign were mentioned in an interview with the industry. Yes, it is a publishing company for comics. I was aware of it. I'm confident in my ability to generate ideas, but I'm not very good at writing or painting. As a child, I always liked comics and aspired to be a comics artist, but I was a lousy sketcher. After that, I considered writing novels, but I wasn't very good at it either. Despite my best efforts, I could only write at an elementary school level. However, I was always the one coming up with ideas for theater class since I was skilled at coming up with them. I had to drop out of middle school and gave up on my dream of attending an art school and pursuing a creative profession. However, I came to the realization that academic background is irrelevant. I knew it was feasible without a degree because my favorite YouTuber, who does graphics, also dropped out of middle school. I posted controversial content to make money because I didn't want to be a YouTuber myself, and it gained some attention. I assumed they must have a lot of free time, yet there were condescending and trollish comments. I appreciate you watching, and I continued to post. I launched a comics publishing company with the money I made. My company published comics, but they weren't the same as comics for boys or girls. Our area of expertise was ladies' comics, which are well liked by housewives. The majority of our works were based on my ideas, although typically women would come up with the stories or the authors would start from fresh. The media took notice when word spread that a man was creating these dramatic, female-focused plots. I didn't reveal my identity, but the business gained notoriety very fast. Abandoned by toxic parents. Jessica's Revenge, our first single, was a big hit. Jessica, the main character, was working at the start of the novel after dropping out of middle school and being taken advantage of by her parents. It struck a profound chord with readers. You're the president of this company, so you were behind those weird comics. Yeah, they're my passionate creations. What a jerk you are. I become the villainous sister character because of you. I never said the character was based on you. It's not slander or defamation. Anyone who sees it can tell it's me, so don't act foolish. No one can tell it's you because I didn't make it that clear. Furthermore, shouldn't you be the one concerned about being sued for slander and defamation? What do you mean? I appreciate you using your real name to post those horrible remarks on my YouTube channel. I've submitted a disclosure request already. Please wait. I'm happy to have a pal who is a lawyer. Friends are priceless, thanks to Jake. Not at all. What will become of me? I'm not sure. All I know is that you'll most likely be held accountable. Unaware that it was my channel, my brother would boastfully post derogatory remarks like, "The uploader is an idiot." Instead of ignoring it, I made the decision to file the disclosure request as a lesson to him. Individuals who believe they can do anything they want in a world where they can remain anonymous are mistaken. My brother became pale and began to shake. I couldn't help but smile when I thought he might even pee himself. Well, I have a meeting with a comics artist, so I'll get going. Wait, Steve. I need to go earn even more cash. I'm so busy. I went into the office, ignoring my mother. A comics artist met with Jake and me. I gave her the concept for her next piece because she was a fresh artist and did a fantastic job creating dramatic scenarios. You're quite skilled at generating ideas, Tom. I look up to you because I struggle with it, but I rely on the comics artists since I'm not good at drawing or writing. Writers were even hired to create the YouTube content. That channel attracted a lot of interest. People enjoy dramatic tales, don't they? Indeed, it demonstrates how anxious people are these days. People who enjoy dramatic fiction may be coping with personal hardship. Our responsibility is to assist them in letting go of that tension. Life in the modern world is undoubtedly stressful. You've been really helpful, Jake. You're quite good at picking up on details and identifying errors fast. I did work at a printing factory, though. I struggle with details since I'm a big picture person. I'm not very good at finding errors because of this, but Jake makes up for it. Jake's expertise at identifying typos and errors stems from his previous employment at a printing facility. There haven't been any misprints yet. It would have been a disservice to our readers if we had. Since our publishing house is still small, we must gradually build up a track record in order to get credibility. For this reason, we take great care to ensure that our comics are error-free. My brother has to deal with the fallout ever since. He received a fine for both slander and defamation. Although it wasn't much, my brother was unable to pay and knelt down to ask for pardon. That fool made poor stock investments and lost a lot of money. I told him we wouldn't need the police or attorneys if begging worked because I didn't intend to forgive him. Our family business eventually filed for bankruptcy. The reason for this was that my brother invested in stocks using money from the company. This wouldn't have occurred if he hadn't made such foolish decisions. However, I was no longer obligated to assist him. I made the decision to live without a family. But I had an important experience when I was 33. A 28-year-old woman approached us while I was searching for new comics creators. She had submitted her work to a number of publications, but had not heard back. After seeing our work, she decided to attempt making dramatic ladies comics, even though she had been hesitant about it. Retaliation was not the only theme in our works. The protagonist's happiness was the most important aspect. In essence, it was a Cinderella tale, and comics of this kind were gaining popularity. Although I didn't watch many dramas, I had heard that Korean dramas frequently have this structure. I began studying Korean dramas since Korean idols, cosmetics, and dramas were popular among women in their 20s. They proved to be quite helpful, and I was inspired to write The Ugly Duckling Who Became a Princess After Plastic Surgery. Indeed, the protagonist's transformation in Korea works effectively since Korean cosmetic surgery and makeup are well known. Yeah, I thought it would be interesting if everyone treated her differently when she returned to the States. I'd want a scene where everyone turns to look at her. I understand. She gets so stunning that people gasped. Although she should be first portrayed as extremely ugly to the point of being pathetic, she has a good-hearted and caring nature. Comprehensive. The bullies should have a mediocre appearance, not exceptionally attractive, but not unattractive either. Oh, and the protagonist should also have liposuction. Yes, I am aware of folks who have had liposuction in Korea. She could then get into amazing shape. She could make a lot of money and become a famous hostess. Then her nasty old classmates might become clients. That sounds great, but she doesn't reveal her identity as they hit on her without realizing who she is. How about that? Jake, that's a fantastic concept. It's fascinating. Regards. Do you think some mature scenes would be a good addition? Women in their 30s are the target audience for this. Sure, something for working women who are tired from their jobs. Exactly. Women who are frustrated are motivated to continue after reading the ending. Not only to exact retribution, but also because the protagonist finds happiness on her own. I got it. I'll try it out. Excited, Emily, the artist, produced The Ugly Duckling, who underwent plastic surgery and became a princess. Sarah, the amiable but incredibly ugly main character, is a victim of bullying. She is regularly made fun of by her high school peers since she is not only fat, but also ugly. The lads dislike her, and when she writes a letter to one of them confessing her love, he discards it. After being devastated, Sarah puts in a lot of work and goes to Korea by herself. She has full-body plastic surgery there. She undergoes liposuction, has her jaw, eyes, and nose altered, and becomes a lovely beauty. She is so stunning that she gets a double take at the airport when she returns to the United States. Sarah becomes the best hostess by using her beauty. She quickly reconnects with her old classmates and eventually finds her true love. Our little publishing business expanded dramatically, and the comic became a success. In the end, a well-known actress played Sarah in the TV drama adaptation of the comic. They depicted her ugly and gorgeous hostess phases using special effects. As a token of appreciation for her efforts, I took Emily to AAL. I was happy that I invited Emily out, and she loved spending time with me. We started dating more and grew closer to one another. My desire to tell Emily how I felt grew stronger as I got to know her more. But Emily had graduated from an art university, and I had dropped out of high school. I made the brave decision to come clean, even though I didn't think she would be interested in someone like me. I got the confidence I needed when Jake told me to go for it if I liked her. Emily, there's something I want to tell you. What is it? I want you to seriously consider our future together. Are you saying that you were thinking about marriage? Indeed. Despite my lack of knowledge and my middle school dropout status, I want to be with you going forward. Emily, I can't lie to myself any longer. Please take my request to date seriously, since I would love to marry you in the future. I'm grateful. The same thing has been my desire. What? I'd be happy to be more than just work partners with you. Emily happily agreed to my suggestion. I was glad that I had voiced my emotions. Everyone follows their own route in life, according to Emily, who didn't mind that I dropped out of middle school. The fact that Emily was my girlfriend made me happy and thankful. After that, we got married. That was when I was 34. Although my brother and parents were not present for the wedding, our staff members and Jake, my business partner and close friend, joined in the celebration. Above all, I was pleased to have Emily's parents accept me. Though she had trouble coming up with ideas, Emily kept up her hard work as a comic artist, even after she married me. I believed she had a great deal of creativity, and her artwork was superb. She created engaging imagery. Emily's artwork and my story ideas were used to make a number of pieces. In addition, Jake fostered and managed numerous talents. Our business expanded gradually and gained recognition in the market for women's comics. Emily seemed ill just before my 35th birthday. She added, "Actually, I've been told I'm expecting," which made me wonder whether it was something she ate. What? We are expecting a child. You're going to be a father. Me? A dad? Indeed. You will become a father. I'm overjoyed. That's incredible. I was so emotional that I raised Emily up. I placed my ear to her tummy, imagining the baby growing and moving inside her even though I couldn't hear anything yet. I looked forward to seeing our child every day and was thrilled to meet them. Then Emily went into labor when I was 35. After giving it her all, Emily gave birth to a healthy boy. I was crying as I held him because I couldn't believe such a lovely little creature existed. My life was no longer solely mine from this point on. For my wife, Emily, and our baby, I had to live my best life. Whatever difficulties we faced, I knew I could bear them for their benefit. This was my pride as a father and my resolve as a man. Despite having toxic parents as a youngster, I was concerned about whether I could really love my child. However, I believe I'm doing all right. Although raising a child is undoubtedly difficult, I am filled with love as I see him develop every day. My brother and I were treated very differently by our parents, and I never understood why. Yes, they probably liked my brother more since he was smarter and more charming. However, I am aware that I could never choose to forsake one child over the other, even if we have another. I'll try to be the greatest parent I can be and use my parents as an example of what not to do, even if one of them seemed less capable. Emily and I intend to help each other raise our child because we both work. Additionally, Jake met a girlfriend, and the two of them intend to tie the knot shortly. I envision a society in which people who persevere through adversity are ultimately rewarded.